Yes, everybody, welcome to the Friday edition of the Isaac Hayes Show, where I talk about life, I talk about liberty, and yes, I talk about the pursuit of happiness, and I show you in the audience and everybody that is under the sound of my voice that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day. Finally got all 3 days recorded. It is Friday, October 4th. I got an announcement. If you're watching, I'm pulling hair from my mustache out of my mouth. I know it's disgusting. I'm sorry. No, but today I have the honor of being not 42. Oh Lord, I'm adding years to my life. 32 years old. In 10 years, I can say 42, but right now I am 32 years old. I know my Facebook is blowing up with people saying happy birthday and all that good stuff. But I want to say this, on the air, thank you in advance. I haven't seen none yet. I'm probably going to see him after. And, 32 years the Lord has given me to live on this earth, and I never thought I'd be doing podcasting. Never. My little sister told me one time, she said, Isaac, why didn't you go be like in the radio or something? You just had to call. And I was like, I just never enjoyed it until about 6 years ago. Want to do a podcast. It was put up on my heart. And I started out with Brothers Just Searching, which is still there today, talking about the Bible and current things. We're studying the book of James. Go look it up. We just released a new episode, and it is phenomenal. At the same time, a couple of months later, I started the Cajun Conservative Show, and we changed the name to the Isaac Hayes Show. Now that's what it is. And me and my wife, we started one called No Longer Two. We haven't recorded in a while because of things going on. But yeah, that's what's going on. I am 32. Talking about my birthday, I'm spending my birthday in Kinder, Louisiana, a couple of minutes from New Orleans. No, I'm not going to New Orleans on Bourbon Street. I don't do that type of stuff. But I am going to Kinder this weekend. I'm speaking after 5:30. I know that for sure. But I'm going to be at the MAGA Fest tomorrow, Saturday. We're going to be in Kinder, Louisiana. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some information on that. Because we have a lot going on, and this is my good friend William Wallace. He's on our he comes as a guest on our election nights, and I had the honor and privilege of being on his show. It's the MAGA Fest Leadership Summit, October 5th and 6th. I will not be there on the 6th. I have church, but the times are it starts at 10 and it goes on to the night until the last speaker is going to be at the Clarington Hotel. It is the conference center and ballroom. It is 2829 William Boulevard in Kinder, Louisiana. Come and hang out with us if you're there. Tickets are not expensive. They are really, really good pricing right now. It is at the megafest24.live. Go check that out. That's for tickets and more information on all the speakers. Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to help him out as well. My good friend Kelby from the Kelby and Joe Show. Kelby is hosting. He is the chairman of the Republican Party here in St. Martin Parish. And he is going to be, we have Bash on the Bayou. This is the third Bash on the Bayou that they will have. Got some great speakers, Sheriff Beckett, Senator Blake Miguez, State Representative Chad Boyer, and Billy Nungasser, Lieutenant Governor here of the great state of Louisiana. I have met 3 out of the 4 of the main speakers. They're going to have Hunter Corville, Cajun Fever. They're going to be playing at night. You can go ahead and look up the event on Eventbrite. I was supposed to be there, but unfortunately, I would not be able to make it. I am going preach that night, and I got a special youth service I have to attend. So I will not be there. I did say I was going to be there, and I text Kelby today, and I apologize. I know Kelby listens to the show. So, Kelby, I apologize on air. So, I know you're here for the topics, but we got a lot going on. My last thing that I want to say on here, and I text him, and I told him congratulations, but he made the announcement on Two Mics Live. My good friend Mike Calderese is going to be a father once again. Mike Calderese announced on Wednesday's episode of Two Mics Live, which you can watch tonight here on Rumble if you're watching on Rumble, or if you're watching on another streaming platform, or you're listening on a streaming platform. You can go ahead and tune in to Two Mics Live. Two Mics Live, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm probably aggravating Mike Swartz, Dr. Michael Swartz, for me saying that. But anyway, congratulations to Mike Calderitz and his beautiful bride in New Jersey. They're going to be parents once again. So congratulations, Mike. We love you, man, and we pray for the best for you and your family. So let's start off tonight's episode. I'm just going to ask a question to Biden and Harris. This is a question I have been wondering ever since last week's storm. As you know, we had a storm. I think the hurricane was Helene come through and devastated some of the southern states. It went through Florida, it went to Georgia, it went to Tennessee, and it went to North Carolina. A massive storm, Category 4. We hadn't had a big storm like that in our area in here in Louisiana since I think Hurricane Katrina. We had Gustav and we had others, but we never had that big of a storm since 2005 in my recollection. I could be wrong. And also Rita was right behind it. There was a Hurricane Isaac again this year. We had one last year that landed in Louisiana. They said it wasn't big enough. Isaac didn't do much damage. So guess what? We're going to put him back on the list. And I'm like, they retire the name Isaac, please, already. But anyway, this hurricane has come through, and it's devastated many states. I believe over 200 have passed on to eternity. And I just hope that every one of them knew Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. But this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy. This is a disaster on a massive scale. Mother Nature can be brutal. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm praying for all the families. And, this story needs to get out because there's a lot of shenanigans going on with the federal government with this storm. Again, going to my question, I'm going to look into the camera. I know they're not watching, but in case this video goes viral, President Biden, Vice President Harris, do you care about the citizens of this great United States of America? There, I asked it, ladies and gentlemen. I asked it because apparently the federal government is limited of what they could do. And look, this shows the great spirit of America. I've been seeing this for a little while now. The churches that are helping with these people. The organizations, the charitable organizations like Samaritan Purse and all these other great organizations, nonprofit organizations are out there. We have people rescuing people that are still stuck. For the past week, with all the devastations, you watch the videos. It is horrendous of what's going on. The storm, it's terrible. The storm did so much damage in Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. It did damage like we haven't seen in a while. So you would think the federal government would be along with these other organizations. My goodness, President Trump is not the current president of the United States, and he has been touring the devastation in these states for the last 2 days and has given donations. Elon Musk set up a star line so people can have communication. Some of these people still don't have communication, and you would think that Biden and Harris, especially in the middle of an election season, where North Carolina is one of the 7 states, 2 of the 7 states that are key to winning the election this year, were impacted by this storm. You would think that Harris and Biden definitely would be in these areas to show love and compassion and to spread the joy that they've been talking about for the last couple of months since Harris took over the campaign. But the federal government has not been there. The federal government has not been there. The federal government is MIA. Now, we had Biden snap at some reporters when he went ahead and they asked him about, look, why you weren't at the place yet? Why didn't you go to these states yet? And he yelled at these reporters and told them that he's commanding. He's the commander-in-chief. He was on the phone for 2 hours. That must have been between his ice cream and his nap. But then you had, I don't know why my iPad's doing this. Anyway, then you have Kamala Harris taking her good sweet time. Now, to their credit, they showed up. They showed up there Thursday, and Kamala showed up on Wednesday. And she got a lot of pushback from the photo op that she did. What do I mean by photo op? She went on X and she showed this picture of her having a headphone and talking to somebody and writing notes. It's kind of funny. She's by the plane. I mean, she's by the window. She's in the plane. The headphones are not hooked up. And there was a lot of other things that was criticized about that photo. A lot of people thought, hey, this was just an act to try to gain votes. Biden has been MIA during the storm. He's laying on the beach. Citizens are scattered all over the place. And we even got from Mayorkas today, Thursday, coming out, and this is from the New York Post, saying that FEMA, that there's no more money. There's not enough money in FEMA to help if there's another major hurricane down the line. Now, look, I don't know. I know if you're in the East Coast, well, the East Coast gets affected too, but if you're on the West Coast or Midwest, you don't have to worry about hurricanes. Unfortunately, y'all have to worry about tornadoes and other stuff. But from I believe from August to November. No, correction, because August is our peak. From June to November, it's hurricane season. Now, we just passed over the peak, but it's hurricane season. And if it's November, we still got a month to 2 months to go. And Mayorkas, the Homeland Security Secretary, I guess you could call him, is saying that we don't have no more money. We don't have no more money to spend if there's another hurricane. Homeland Security Secretary Alexander Mayorkas set off outrage Wednesday, not Thursday. I'm wrong again. That's okay. You know, liberals are going to go ahead and say something. Anyway, told reporters that the Federal Emergency Management Agency does not have enough funds to see Americans through the rest of this Atlantic hurricane season after the agency spent more than $1.4 billion since the fall of 2022 to address the migrant crisis. What migrant crisis? Oh, you're talking about the southern border? Oh, okay. Look. I'm not going to say nothing. They spent that $1.4 billion stopping illegal immigration, right? No. If I remember, there's almost 2 to 3 million people that cross over every year. So they say about 10 million people crossed over. They were building a wall for field. No, they didn't spend $104 billion on that. I don't know where the money went to. I'm gonna be honest with you. But it was $1.4 billion spent on migrant crisis. This is not addressing the fact as well that right before this hurricane, the president and the vice president, the current president and the current vice president, who is running for president of the United States, by the way, spent a couple of billion back to Ukraine. And Biden has the nerve to go on, I guess it was national TV, or make a video and say that, hey, this is going to cost a lot of money, but that's okay, Americans. You're going to pay for it. Which means more taxes. Which probably means higher inflation. I'm trying to respect the president of the United States, but this man, that's the best way I'm going to put it. I'm trying. I know Mike Calderis, if he's listening to this, he is flipping up because he likes when I get mad and I don't try to curse. He's standing there telling the American people, you're going to have to pay more money. And then Kamala Harris has the nerve as well to go to ground zero and tell the people, hey guys, if you go ahead and apply, we're going to give you relief. Yes, relief, $750. You just got to go online and apply for it. I said it earlier. Half of these people don't have electricity. Half of these people don't have water to drink. And then this came from Brett Cooper from the Daily Wire. She showed a video of a lady that said, I went to try to get it and it's $750 per household, not per person, per household. And this money is going to people that was already on food stamp and welfare, and they're getting it first. People that were having a good income and not on this stuff, they have to wait. But it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. If you're from North Carolina, and you're from Tennessee, and you're from Georgia, and you're from Florida, you're okay. You're gonna get $750, but don't worry as well, because Ukraine is taken care of. Someone read the numbers. As much money as we gave to the Ukrainian people to fight this war that we're not hearing about all of a sudden. That's scary. All of a sudden, they're giving this money. And if you add up all the money from the time the start of the Ukrainian-Russian war to now, every Ukrainian citizen, $400, I believe. $400 to $500 per person in Ukraine. Now, I don't know the population of Ukraine, but come on. And this is why I'm asking the question, do they care about the American citizen? Do they care about how we're going to survive? We just had a storm, ladies and gentlemen, and the president and the current vice president are nowhere to be found. Oh, they're showing up now. You know why? Because Trump has been there. And this happened the last time there was a disaster, a national disaster. Trump was on the ground. Well, Isaac, Trump ain't the president. You got to realize you don't have that much trust. He's running a campaign, a national campaign. He went over there today, and he was... on Thursday. He went there on Thursday, he went there on Wednesday, and he had a rally. My goodness. Now look, this is a national disaster. And Biden and Kamala are nowhere to be found. What would happen if somebody would attack us like they're doing in Israel, which we're going to talk about in a little bit? What would they do? What if a foreign entity decided to attack us? Would he stay on the beach and, oh, look at them jets. They must be having an air parade. Kamala, take my picture with the jets. Ladies and gentlemen, and look, you need to vote this November. Biden and Harris do not care about you. I'm sorry. This is what I'm seeing from this. And I know there's pundits out there that are, we're not going to say that. I'm going to say it. This disturbs me when you have the current president of the United States and the current vice president taking their good, sweet time. And look, I know the logistics of it. I know you have to set up Secret Service. I know you got to get the police officers. And I understand the whole old argument of, oh, this is going to be a lot of logistics, and we need to go ahead and make sure the president's all right. I understand all that. But you remember, President Trump has Secret Service as well. There's a lot of logistics with President Trump as well, and he was there. Now, I'm going to bring out this one point, then I'm going to go to my next topic. It's kind of funny, in 2005, I mentioned Hurricane Katrina earlier. President George W. Bush flew over the damage in Air Force One to assess the damage. Now, Hurricane Katrina, look, there was flooding and everything like that, and I'm not going to say that it's worse than all of them, because every disaster's bad. If I'm not mistaken, Katrina landed as a 4 or was about to be a 5. I'd have to go back and look. But President Bush decided to fly over and look at the damage so he wouldn't mess up anything going on the ground. And this is the same argument that they're using for Biden and them. And the left criticized George W. Bush. Oh, he should have been there. He should have been with the people and talking to the people. He should have went ahead and helped them. I'm going to tell you one thing. At least President Bush send FEMA out there and help the people of New Orleans. He didn't send them a measly $750, which this ain't the first time a national disaster has happened and Biden has flopped on it. Because if I'm not mistaken, there was another time where $750 was, hey, we're going to give you $750, and people were outraged with it too. I can't remember what it was. But you're telling me the media is going to criticize the president for flying over in a plane, and they're not going to criticize Harris and Biden? Oh, you got to understand. Well, why didn't you understand? Look, I know 2005. It was over a decade ago. Almost 2 decades ago since Hurricane Katrina. But the media hasn't ever changed. These are the same people, and I wasn't planning on bringing the debate up, but these are the same people. Majority of the mainstream media was trying to twist it that Waltz won the debate Tuesday night. And you heard my analysis. I read almost every question, and I gave you God honest analysis of that debate, and Vance won. But the media is going, oh, he was a slick debater. He came from Yale. It's funny how all these people, this is a bonus point for you guys. It's funny how all these people from Yale and all these rich people, they're all rich people and they all came from elite colleges. I'm just saying. This is the same media that's trying to shape your opinion on the upcoming election and trying to hide Kamala Harris in the closet. And see, this is the bunch this all up into one big ball. This is why the media don't want her out in the. This is why they don't want the campaign. They don't want her out there because somebody might ask a hard question. And it's sad. It's sad that this storm is showing the true colors, but you as the American citizen, you're going to have to watch this and say, what do I do with this? I think they're showing you their true colors. They're showing you their true colors through this storm. You have to go ahead and make that decision, who I'm going to vote for. Am I going to vote for the people or the person that wants a promotion, that does not deserve a promotion and has not done anything to get the position she's in now? Staying at the White House, not worrying about the people, eating steak and caviar while people are literally being drug away by the mud. Are you gonna follow the man that went to the storm? Isaac, that's all political. He's doing that for votes. Harris was in California getting $1 million or whatever her. Trump was on the ground. And this is not the first time. Like I said, there was another national disaster. I can't remember. I think it was a hurricane in Florida. I think it is. I'm not sure. But he was on the ground. Trump is there with the people. But the Democrat elites. Oh, no, please, don't bring her out. No, don't bring her out. No. The media is trying to make her look good. I seen the articles Thursday. Oh, look at Harris. Oh, look at the pictures. Even the White House. Oh, she's there. She's directing everything. Everything was a photo op. I don't even think she stayed there long. They're trying to make her look good. But I'm going to tell you, actions speak louder than words. Oh, she was there. Biden was there too. See, Isaac, you don't know what you're talking about. No, they showed up almost a week late. And you know what? This is even worse because the storm exposed how the Biden administration is wasting your taxpaying dollars. You tell him on a senseless war in Ukraine. Makes me sick. I'm gonna make a bold statement because I'm going into this with the next segment. I'm gonna make a bold statement here. Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu has helped America more through their war because at least they took out our enemies. And then Biden has done in 4 years. This storm has exposed them. They are spending money willy-nilly. And look, I didn't agree when Trump did it. I did not agree when Trump did it, but at least it went to our military and the border. That's for our protection. Instead of across the sea where you have Zelensky sitting down in a yacht enjoying the war. For Zelensky to come over here and campaign for Biden and Harris, or correction, Harris and Waltz, there's a problem. It also goes to the point, too, all you liberals out there that are telling me, well, Russia interfered with our election in 2016. If that was true, why didn't they endorse Trump? Russia and Vladimir Putin saying, I hope Kamala wins, because they can get over them. This is a weak administration. This is a weak presidential candidates, and the only reason they're still alive is because of the mainstream media. That's it. And it makes me sick. Makes me sick. All right, moving on. Are we about to enter into World War III? Again, the way I'm doing the show now, I like it. I think of a thought and I'll build it around. And the reason I'm asking this question, are we about to enter into World War III, is because when the war escalated early in the week, and this happened on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we heard that Iran shot almost 200 ballistic missiles to Israel. This is after Israel killed the leader of Hezbollah. This is after Israel sent a limited ground operations into Lebanon. And they have been fighting on the ground with Hezbollah since then. 8 soldiers for the Jewish forces lost their lives. And at the retaliation of, well, before that, the supreme leader of Iran, whatever, went ahead and hid in a bunker, scared, pooping in his pants, because he knows he went ahead and done this. Now, Israel is facing a 3-front war right now. They're about to face a 4th, and it's already went on. A small country like New Jersey facing a 4-front war. Think about this: America is 10 times bigger than Israel. I would be scared if we had to face a 1-front war with our commander-in-chief. Has the guts of Jello. I'm sorry, and Harris isn't no better. Anyway, but then it went to a boiling point where Israel, again, 200 rockets, and thanks to America and other allies in the area, they shot them almost all down. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this. It took 12 minutes for a ballistic missile to get from Iran to Israel. The first strike with Iran back in April, it took several hours. Israel was prepared. I'm going to be honest with you. I think, and look, Iran is bigger than Israel. If you go look on the map, you can see their size difference. A little country like that stopping a big country like that, and it shows the intelligence of Israel. Look, for Israel to cripple Hezbollah, they intersected their beepers and their walkie-talkies, and then told the leader, you better stop, and we will retaliate. What's that whistling sound? And that was it. Israel took care of Hezbollah. They're still taking care of Hezbollah. The last little bit that's holding on, but almost all their leadership is gone. The intelligence we're seeing from Israel is phenomenal. Now, there is a second point to that, though, because Israel's still standing strong, is because they have to fulfill Bible prophecy. And if you know me, I am a youth pastor and a minister. I said it earlier. I teach on Brothers Just Searching. And the center of Bible prophecy is Israel. Israel will not fail, no matter what. Now, we are instructed as Christians to continue praying for the peace of Israel. But Israel's not going to be moved, no matter what happens. And this is what, look, the testimonies of Israel's wars from the past are phenomenal. The 6-Day War. You're not telling me a country that was formed in 1948, the day after it was declared war by its enemies and won. Phenomenal. All by God's grace. Now, we know I would have to go into detail with that, but we know Israel has rejected the Messiah that is in the church age right now. If you ever want that, please comment and let me know. I will gladly do a show on Bible prophecy and whatnot. But going back to the point, Iran sent 200 missiles and Israel stopped almost all of them. There was no serious injuries or deaths in this rocket strike. And I think Iran is pretty scared because now Benjamin Netanyahu has come out and said, "Hey, y'all poked the wrong bear." And they did. They poked the wrong bear. Israel says we're retaliating and we're retaliating hard. Now, there's some words out there that Israel is going to go ahead and try to stop, to hit their nuclear plants. And ever since that has happened, I have been wondering, what does Joe Biden has invested in Iran? Why do I say that? Because Joe Biden, ever since this has been announced, has told Israel, don't. You can retaliate. You can go ahead and protect yourself. The same old line that the Democrat Party does is, oh, you can protect yourself. You can go ahead and defend yourself when you're attacked, but don't go on offense. This is what Joe Biden's doing, and I'm a big football fan. I was planning on giving you an opinion on something. I might talk about that Saturday because we are doing a live show from the MAGA Fest in Make America Great Again, baby. Woo! MAGA Fest in Kenner, Louisiana. Planning on having some guests if I can rustle up a few of these guys early on Saturday morning. But this, I'm going to use a football analogy on this. Joe Biden's telling Israel, listen, you can stay on defense all day long. If they throw a long pass on you, it happens, but never get on offense. Never try to score points. Iran, they can score points, but right after their offense is coming back on there and they can score more points and score more points. If you hit an interception, great, but don't never go on offense. That's what Joe Biden's telling the Israel people. And look, to Israel's credit, they're not listening. Thank the Lord. Because I hate to say it, Israel would have been annihilated if they would listen to Joe Biden's advice. Look, Joe Biden's foreign policy stank ever since he got into politics. But he's telling Israel, don't do it. Don't do it. And I keep asking that question. What does President Biden, what is his investment in these nuclear plants? And I'm trying to remember who it is. I forgot who responded to me and said, we've invested in it. This started somebody at work. If you remember in the late 2000s, before the teens, 2000 teens, President Obama signed an Iranian nuclear deal that sent pallets of money to the Iranians. Then President Trump comes in and annihilates the plan, nearly bankrupts Iran, and Iran's like, what we're going to do, we have a presidential election where, yes, COVID played a factor and all this stuff played a factor into. I have strong feelings about the 2020 election. All that stuff happened. 2020's election happened. We have Joe Biden elected as the president of the United States, and doggone it, he went ahead and put the Iranian deal back on. And has sent millions and billions of dollars again. All them nuclear plants were built by American taxpayers. If you think about it. Oh, Isaac, you got to realize the Iranian nuclear deal was going to stop them from having weapons of mass destruction. Baloney. Do you honestly think the people of Iran, the supreme leaders, looked at Biden and said, yeah, we're not going to do it no more. With they had their fingers crossed in the back when they told him. They broke that treaty right when they signed it. Look, a lot of people make this assumption, if Donald Trump was president, this would not have happened. We don't know if it would have happened, but it didn't happen when he was president for 4 years. Iran was broke. We had peace in the Middle East. Several countries were part of the Abraham Accords. But we had an election, and Joe Biden became president. Now look at the mess we're in. And it's not stopping. Like I said, I'm glad they're not listening to Joe Biden. Why? Because the leaders of the G7 urged Israel to show restraint. That's right, show restraint when responding to Iran's Islamic regime firing 180 plus ballistic missiles at Israel this week. This is from the Daily Wire. G7, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom and the United States condemned in the strongest terms Iran's direct military attack against Israel, which constitutes a serious threat to a region stability, to the regional stability. Oh, they contended. The G7, now Biden has said in air quotes, he called this meeting, and they put out this this statement. The group said that Iran's use of terrorist proxy groups throughout the region needed to be stopped. Well, good. Yes, let Israel take care of Hamas. Let Israel take care of Hezbollah, and I can't remember the third terrorist group that is taking them on the. Let Israel take care of them, and let Israel weaken Iran. That's all you have to do. Therefore, we call on the regional players to act responsibly with restraint, the statement said. We encourage all parties to engage constructively to de-escalate the current tension. The problem with it is the terrorist groups will not stop. There's a saying. The terrorists get rid of their guns, there'll be peace in the Middle East. If Israel gets rid of their guns, there'll be no Israel. And look, this is the problem that I'm having with this whole situation. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. This current administration, and Harris is included on that. So if you're a left-leaning person, please listen and get educated a little bit. Every time something like this happens, it is Israel's fault. This is how the left thinks. It happened in October 7th. The first couple of weeks, oh, poor Israel. Israel should defend themselves. Israel should. And when Israel said, we're going into Gaza, whoa! Hold on, you're going to do what? And you got to think about the people. You got to think about the Palestinians. You got to think about. Okay, I understand all that, but the Palestinians, the people that are living in Gaza, were helping the Hamas people, the Hamas terrorists. The group then demanded an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. That's right. Look. You almost took them out, but let's stop before the finish line. They also said they were deeply concerned about the situation in Lebanon. That's right. Rockets are coming from Lebanon. Rockets were coming from Gaza. Israel is defending themselves and trying to take out their enemies. And this group's telling Israel to stop. I don't understand. President Joe Biden said on Wednesday that the statement for the G7 would only come after all the countries, including the Biden-Harris administration, agreed to what it was said. So Biden and Harris... You know, the Kamala Harris, who was running for president of the United States, agreed to this. This joint statement, this is how Biden believes. We should have a ceasefire, and we should have a ceasefire now. Now, you might be asking, Isaac, you talked a lot about Israel, and you said at the beginning, are we about to enter in World War III? Well, like I said, because of all this stuff going on, think about it. We're almost basically in World War III. The whole world's up in shambles right now. You have Ukraine and Russia that's at war. Taiwan might be invaded by China. You have Israel and the whole Middle East coming after Israel. You have unrest of the sun. You have all this stuff going on. And look, it's always funny when I think about it, okay? We were told if President Biden would not be the president of the United States, Trump would lead us into World War III. Trump is the only president in the last several decades to not lead us into a conflict. Think about this. He has not led us into a conflict. Biden-Harris got into office and Harris wants to be president of the United States, we've had constant wars. We had failures on every front in the foreign policy. Give me Trump. I'm sorry. This is, and look, I hope this don't lead to World War III. I hope. I sincerely hope that we do not go into World War III. But if we elect Harris, they know they're going to get over her. They know they're going to get over Tim Walz, because the only downside to Vance having a good debate last Tuesday night was that it showed the weakness of Tim Walz. Tim Walz ain't going to stand up to Putin. Harris ain't going to stand up to Putin. Now, I'll tell you one thing. She might get him to do what she wants him to do if she hackles enough. That lady's laugh hurts my ears. I'm just... Are we entering into war? It looks like it. And this is the problem. Biden is doing what Isaiah said in the word. He's calling good evil and evil good. Israel, you're bad. Don't retaliate. Terrorists, yeah, y'all didn't do all right. You know. And just like I said earlier in the week, he was like, look, I do not support them going after the nuclear plants. They shouldn't do that. Why not? It would benefit us. Think about it. Okay, look, any normal American person would say, if they take out the nuclear plants, and look, Israel's going to do it where they're going to warn them first. Because Israel has always done it. Listen, get out, and get out now. Israel done it in Lebanon. They done it in Gaza. They done it all. They're going to warn the Iranians, hey, get out when y'all can get out. But they take out the nuclear plants in Iran. Iran can't have a weapon of mass destruction. They don't have it now because they haven't used it on Israel. They said when they're going to get it, they're going to shoot at Israel. They made those statements. That is a direct threat from Iran. America, G7. Look, G7 is all about peace. Hey, support Israel. No, they're going to go ahead and try to accommodate the terrorists. Look, I'd say this a lot. It makes me sick because a lot of these stories do make me sick because we have an administration that's telling the good guys to not do the good thing. Okay, I'm going to use an example. I don't know why I thought of this, but how many of y'all saw the movie Tombstone? In the live chat, in the comments, go ahead and let me know if you ever saw Tombstone. If you saw Tombstone, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. There was the gunfight at the OK Corral, which was a historical event that really happened with the Earp Brothers and the Cowboys gang. Imagine Tombstone with Kirk Russell and all of them in Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday and all. Just think about it, okay? Doc Holliday, the Earp Brothers are walking down to go to the OK Corral. And the Cowboys, they've been terrorizing everybody. Just imagine. And they're about to get it, and the U.S. government shows up, or the mayor, don't do it! Stop! The Cowboys built our economy! That wouldn't have made the Earp Brothers and Doc Holliday in that scenario was the good guy. They were the marshals. Don't do it. No, don't be the good guys. Don't stop the terror in the West. Imagine that. Well, Isaac, that don't make no sense. Exactly. That's how I feel when I see Joe Biden and Kamala Harris doing this to the Jewish people, to Israel, our friends, our true allies, not like Iran, not like Ukraine. They're our true friends. I'm just saying, Israel going to take out the enemy, and the U.S. government is, don't be restrained. Use blanks in your bullets. I don't know. And look, it might not be a good analogy. Tell me in the comments if it's not a good analogy. But all right, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the liberals have finally did their October surprise on Donald Trump. As you know, Donald Trump was facing 97 felony counts. There's a Fooey Wabbit that's running around called Jack Smith. Jack Smith indicted Donald Trump on most of the counts. You had Alvin Briggs and that other nut from Georgia that tried to whatever. Now all the cases have been thrown out. Majority of them. The only one that we're still waiting on is the Alvin Bragg case, and that possibly is going to be thrown out after the election, depending on Donald Trump's election. Because if Donald Trump wins, it would not surprise me that the judge in that case would send Donald Trump to jail and saying he has to serve jail, and then we would have a sitting president sitting in a federal prison. I doubt that happens because what's good about it, Donald Trump could go ahead and pardon himself in theory. And if he loses, well, if Donald Trump rides off into the sunset, which I hope he doesn't, they might not worry about him. So we don't know. We do not know. I do not know. God has not given me the ability to see into the future. He has. I haven't. I'm just being honest. But God, I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, going back to this. This is why I say I think the Democrats have launched their October surprise. What is October surprise? October surprise is when they come out something scandalous or something bad to make the candidate look bad, and people are like, I can't vote for him. That's what they did with Mark Robinson in North Carolina. But I think this is the surprise that they did, because Jack Smith, his case filings magically got released on Wednesday. We were on the air when I think this story broke. A federal judge on Wednesday unsealed a key filing from special counsel Jack Smith updating election interference case against former President Donald Trump. U.S. District Judge for the District of Columbia, Tina Chutkan, remember that word. I don't know if I said her name right, but Ms. Tina Chutkan unsealed Smith's 165 filings in which Smith argued that Trump is not immune from prosecution for his illegal criminal scheme to overturn the 2020 election results. Smith submitted the documents after the Supreme Court earlier this year ruled that a president is immune from prosecution for all official acts. Now, this is funny, too. Okay, the Supreme Court said, look, you can't charge him. That case should have been thrown out, and then he had to go do a whole new grand jury, which I think they did. Within minutes, they had a grand jury, and they're like, yep, he's guilty. We heard all the evidence. Anyway, I think that's what happened. I'm not 100% sure. But my youth fantasy league is texting me. But anyway, all of a sudden, this file has been released. Now, this Judge Tina, has, now this is the District of Columbia, which means it's Washington, D.C., has a record of being a left-leaning individual. And this judge has given Jack Smith everything. I'm going to say it again for all the people that are listening online and you can't see my facial expression. Everything. This is the judge that he goes to get something done. And all of a sudden, this file is released. And there was a couple of key points. And Fox News is kind enough to give us that information. He said in the filing until Wednesday, Smith outlined a factual preface alleging Trump resorted to crimes to try to stay in office after losing the 2020 election. He said he teamed up with some co-conspirators and he did all this stuff, and it's all proven. Now again, this is the updated indictments on Donald Trump, meaning that Donald Trump has not been convicted of all this stuff. And this is where I believe this is a surprise. They think, oh, they're reading this, and people that are not educated and people that don't know what's going on going to read this and think, oh, my goodness, Trump did this stuff. This is stuff that Smith is alleging that Trump did. But the media is spinning this, and I've been seeing it. The media has been spinning this like this is the new Gospel of John in the Bible. It's the new book that added on to the New Testament. You had Jude, you had Revelation, and then you had the impeachment of Donald Trump or whatever. That this is added on as gospel now, that Trump did this stuff. Which it's not. It's just, hey, he alleged that he did this. Smith also claimed that Trump's personal attorneys told him that election fraud claims were bull, hit with an S, And Donald Trump was like, and look, there's a lot of things you read in this. Like he said some things in the third point, where he had a call between, the new details on Trump's insurrection. That's what they call it, January 6th, with interactions with Vice President Pence. The filing details several alleged instructions between alleged interaction between Trump and former President Pence in the days following the election. Smith details on November 7 of 2020 call between Pence and Trump, in which Pence allegedly tried to encourage Trump as a friend by reminding him that he took a dying political party and gave it new life. Smith also details in the private lunch between Trump and Pence, November 12th, when Pence allegedly gave Trump a face-saving option. That option, according to the filing, was don't concede but recognize the process is over. And they're making a lot of this stuff saying that Pence told him. Now, Pence is just telling him, hey, stop. But that don't prove Trump did anything wrong. That does not prove Trump did anything wrong. There is one that they said that Trump, when they were high and he said, so what, or whatever. It was a lot of this is in context, or to take bits and pieces of phone calls and interactions, and they're shaping it to that's what a prosecutor does. Now, a prosecutor, though, now I'm going to make this point. A prosecutor is supposed to look for the evidence to make them guilty, but if you don't find that evidence, he's supposed to drop the case. This prosecutor, Jack Smith, is not doing that. What he's doing is, I can't find nothing on Trump. I can't find nothing out in the open, so I'm going to take this piece here, this piece there, this piece here. I'm going to make a case out of this conversation, that conversation, and that conversation, without the whole context of the issue that's at hand. It's the same thing what the January 6th committee did. The January 6th committee took video of Democrats running in a hallway and cut it before they showed Josh Harley running out the door. They stopped it. They made that video fit their narrative. White House staffers allegedly overhears Trump say it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It don't matter. He's gonna fight till the death to prove that he was. Hold on, stop. And I heard Josh Guillory say this today. Everybody has done that. A lot of politicians have stopped, but they don't talk about the context. See, they're saying it don't matter. I'm still gonna say I won even if I lost. He wasn't saying that. He was just saying, listen, it don't matter if I win or lost. If there's stuff wrong with our elections, we need to fix it. That's all Trump was saying. And also they redacted a few of them. And the last point, I'll give it to you. Smith presents case against presidential immunity, saying that all this stuff Trump was not in. So, but again, like I said, the question that I had when I first saw this story break, why now? Again, I said it earlier. A lot of people are going to read that and say, oh my goodness, look what Trump did. I know the left, probably Harry from TikTok, is, oh my God, you saw what Trump did? Smith said this, Smith said that, Smith said this. And they forget that our country was built on the principle that you're innocent until proven guilty. It's not a principle. I believe it's in our Constitution. I would have to go back and research, make sure. But ladies and gentlemen, Trump. People are going to read this case and they're going to be like, oh, look what Trump did. And it's sad. I also had another story. I'm running low on time. I was going to talk about the dock strike and the dock worker strike and all that, but before we came on the air, I got a notification saying that this thing was done. They came up with an agreement. The agreement is until January 15th. It goes with the original agreement, which every year they get a $4 raise, which I wish. I never worked for a union. I never worked for a union, but yeah, the wages agreement reportedly consists of $4 an hour raise for each year of the 6-year contract. That was the old contract they're on. This has raised hairs on everybody's back, especially with the union president making several comments that he wants stores and he wants goods to stop to prove their point that they need more money. And look, I don't know. Okay. I don't know, because there's 36, I think there's 32 ports, 32 ports that were part of this strike. For everyone to say, no, we're not going to work, and we're going to go on strike to make more money, and we don't care about how our fellow Americans are, that bothers me. I understand the whole union work. Look, I've never been in a union, so I don't know how the union works. But I understand. Look, I wish I can get more money at my job. But this is the problem. This is the whole problem I'm seeing. You're going to let your fellow Americans suffer because you want more money. I call that selfish. Especially it was going to cost $1 billion per day. It was going to cost our economy. Just 32 ports. Now, Dr. Michael Swartz has done a great job talking about this. And you probably can listen to more of his shows. Check it out. You know, he at the time that this recording dropped, Dr. Michael Swartz would have been on already. So go back and listen. He probably talked about it again on his show. But, yeah, I'd call that selfishness. Oh, you don't care about the unions? Well, no. You know, go work and get a fair wage. I understand the unions protect people and all. There is some good in unions, but I don't. This right here, and look, this ain't the first union strike that has happened. It happened early in the year, and it don't help that, you know, the president has options to keep this strike from happening, and he don't. He chooses not. We're not going to get involved. The government's not going to get involved. And Harris even said, I endorsed the strike. Go out. Look, she's endorsing the strike like she said she would pay for the people's bail bonds. Remember that? With Minneapolis, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to go fund me account and pay for all the bail bonds. But pay all their people's bails. She said that. Now she's endorsing the putting the whole country in jeopardy. Her and Biden are putting the whole company, the whole country in jeopardy. They had the power to do something, and they didn't. We don't want to get involved. We're going to let them work that out themselves. But we endorse the unions. Why? Because, hey, she wants to keep the union vote in this election, but I hate to tell her, majority of union workers are going to Trump. And they should go to Trump, because Trump helped the unions and worked with the unions and did what needed to be done to get them a fair wage. And the reason that these people want money, now look, the union president alone, I think, makes $900,000 a year. With overtime and everything, a lot of people make $200,000 a year in unions. They're saying they can't survive because the inflation, because of ways of living, the cost of living and all that. And guess what? That's all because of President Biden and Kamala Harris. So if you're a union worker, and look, I hope I didn't offend you by saying, look, I don't care about the unions, because I'm just being honest. But if you want higher wages and you want a better life, vote Trump 2024. Now, also, this goes to a biblical point, because I am a biblical podcast. In the last 2 minutes I have, I'm going to hurry make this point. The Bible said to be grateful what you made. Look, I don't have the greatest job in the world. I don't. But guess what? I feed my family, and I trust God for the rest. Sometimes I struggle. Sometimes I have problems. But I put my faith and trust in the Lord Jesus Christ, and he's going to make everything all right. But on that point, though, the Bible said to live content on what you have. Don't be a crybaby. Oh, we want more money. We want more money. $4 a year? A $4 raise every year? For 6 years? That's a good deal. But no, they don't want 50% raise. They want 75. And most of these people, even the president of the union, is selfish. To say I'm gonna put myself in front of the country. Now, if that was somebody else, like if he was on the opposite end, he would be ticked off too. But I'm glad they work it out. And look, think about it. They got into January 15th. And even that, though, the president of the United States will still be Joe Biden at that time. We just got to hope for January 20th. And hope it's Donald Trump, not Kamala Harris. With that being said, it's going to wrap up this show. Please like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your neighbors that Isaac Hayes is here and he's giving you his opinion. Listen to that Cajun conservative. Until next time, you be blessed, you be encouraged, you have a good one.